web Zoom seminar. I do give honor to our host, who so gracefully reaches out to the women on a day-to-day basis, giving us encouragement, prayer, wisdom, giving us the opportunity to express ourselves or to ask questions if need be. And that is so awesome because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have anybody that they can go to or anybody that they can talk to. But she takes the time out to include so many others, people that she don't even know. She reaches out, and that's a good thing. I do give honor to my pastor, where I'm a member of Seeker's Face Ministry in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. She did say that I am a mother, and I have two grandkids. Actually, a baby girl and a baby boy. Um, a little bit about the butterfly transformation that she asked me to speak about. That's how I see myself, as a butterfly, because we all know when the butterfly starts out, it's a caterpillar, and a lot of people don't like them. A lot of times they get killed, they get smushed or whatever, but people discard them. And there was a point in my life where, I kind of felt that way, but then God hid me, and I felt like He hid me for a purpose, and I was in a dark place. And the caterpillar goes into a cocoon until it's ready to come out. But a lot of people don't know that man cannot help a caterpillar out of the cocoon. If so, the butterfly dies. So there was places in my life that man couldn't help me. Nobody could help me but God. There's just some situations where you just need God to intervene, and it has to be you and God. So that's how I came about with the butterfly transformation, because I see myself as such. And butterflies are beautiful, and I see myself as a beautiful woman that's growing every day. um the topic for tonight is self-pity, and a lot of us may have had some experiences with this. A lot of times when I'm talking about certain things, it's not because I don't deal with them or haven't dealt with the issue or the situation at hand, because it happens. And a lot of people think just because you're saved and you love God, that you don't fall, that you don't make mistakes, that you're just perfect all the time, and that's far from the truth. The only perfect person or being is God. We fall short daily, every day. But one thing I like about being saved and knowing God, you know how to get back up again. You don't stay there in that place. You get back up again. You pick yourself up. You analyze the situation for yourself. You see what you can do better, and you go on. So never let anybody make you think that just because you love God, that you are perfect and that you don't make no mistakes, because you do. We all do. We all have our moments. The self-pity comes about. What is self-pity? It's excessive, self-absorbed unhappiness over one's own troubles, which means it's like something we inflict upon ourselves. Sometimes we just take it too far, and self-pity makes us feel like a victim to everything that go on around us. And it's just us. It's just us wrestling with ourselves, having a pity party that gets us absolutely nowhere. Self-pity will keep you immobilized so that your future is no different than your past. If you stay in your past, how can you go forward to your future? If you dwell on something that has happened years ago, or something that happened just yesterday or a couple of seconds ago that was of negativity, how can you get past that to go into your future? So it robs you of that. It lies to you about who you are, and it steals from who you can be. Self-pity tell lies. It makes up things. It draws its own conclusions. Sometimes it paint pictures that's not even there. It's not telling you the truth. Self-pity is just what it is. It wants you to stay in a stagnated place. It wants you to lay dormant, doing nothing, just wallowing around in misery. Self-pity. Think about the word self. It's you. Nobody else is involved. It's just a war between you and your inner man, what you are feeling. Self-pity is easily the most destructive of non-pharmaceutical narcotics. It is an addictive, it's very addictive. It gives momentary pleasure and separates the victim from reality. You can look at self-pity as being a drug. You're not physically putting something in your mouth, but it's like a non-pharmaceutical narcotic that dopes you up and puts you in a slump. You're in a mundane place. You're in a I can't go forward place. You're just having all of these negative thoughts, and it keeps you from the reality, because just because something happened, it does not mean that that's your reality or that's going to be your reality. Self-pity looks outside itself to be rescued. Self-responsibility finds a solution within. A lot of people, and we know, a lot of times when things happen, we'll go from here to there, from person to person, explaining what has happened to see what they have to say about it. And a lot of times when the people don't respond the way we want them to respond, we feel like we have become victimized. We feel like we are a victim to something, and we may sometimes get upset because they're not agreeing with what we're saying. We try to go to people and we try to go to other places to make ourselves feel better, but you're not gonna always get that. I tell people all the time now, I still have moments sometimes where when somebody is telling me the truth and I know it's the truth, I might feel a little sour about it. And sometimes it do show. But at the end of the day, the truth prevails. The truth has to outweigh the negativity. You know, truth hurts sometimes, and we have to be able to take that. We have to be able to handle that. I'm learning every day. I learn something from someone every single day, whether I want to hear it or not. We're never in a place that we can't learn. We're never in a place that we know everything, because we don't. We don't know everything. And sometimes that can put us in a self-pity position because we don't want nobody to tell us anything. We don't want nobody to correct us. We don't want constructive criticism. When if a person really loves you, they're going to tell you the truth, because they don't want to see you keep going back into the same thing over and over and over again. If a person don't love you, I would say they will lie to you. They will tell you what you want to hear and leave you in that self-pity place. We should never want people to fall in that place with us where we're just talking about the issue or the situation and it's getting worse and worse and we're not feeling any better. You got to be careful of that, because a lot of times that's where people want you to be. They want you to stay in that self-pity spot. They don't want to see you come up out of it. So you have to be careful with that, because it's not solving anything. It's just causing you to be down more. Once you disconnect from them, you're still in your self-pity place and they're going on with their life. If you want to get out of the predicament that you're in, you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop feeling like you're nothing, you're nobody, you ain't gonna make it. Even if you heard that, even if someone have said that to you, it's not the truth. It don't have to be your truth. It can be their opinion and what they think. What somebody else think or feel about you is their business. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to accept that. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So you don't have to be in a self-pity place. You don't have to go that way. You don't have to stay in that predicament. You can choose to get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, put on your clothes, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you are somebody, you are loved, you're going to make it, and get out of the self-pity mode. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Demetrice, I can say it to myself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, because it has to hit me first. It has to hit me first. We must understand that self-pity is an awful thing that sometimes we'll find ourselves blaming people or blaming someone else, or we'll try to justify why it is that way. We can't always blame people for our shortcomings, or we can't always put the blame on somebody else. And sometimes we'll try to put the blame on somebody else in hopes that it will make us feel better. But if you truly know within yourself that that's not the truth, what's making you feel better? You're just building on negativity. You're just building on lies. You're just building on illusions. You're just going off what you think, not what reality is, not facts, not truth, not what God say, not what you already know. So don't put the blame on somebody else. You don't even have to blame yourself. You can just face the situation, come to a solution, get up, get out of it, go on. I know someone might be saying, well, that's easier said than done. Trust me, when you get tired of being sick and tired of going through the same thing over and over again, you'll find some strength somewhere to make a solution, make a change, to walk away, to resolve, to not be bothered. You just got to get sick and tired. You just got to make up in your mind, this is it, I'm done. Don't justify it. Don't try to come up with reasons why. Don't make up reasons why. Because you'll find yourself just sitting there thinking of every scenario that you can possibly think of to justify the self-pity. All you're doing is giving yourself drugs, a drug that's not helpful. It's harmful, and it causes you to go down and not up. When we're doing this, all we're doing is attracting more negativity to ourselves. What you think, you become. If you feed something, you can cause it to live. If you starve it, it may very well die. So anything that you don't want sprouting up in your life, don't pay it no mind and don't give it no food. But if you want to keep seeing it, cherish it, nourish it, feed it, keep giving it to it. So keep giving it food to grow. So think about this. Think about your life in this way. I don't want to be in a self-pity state. So therefore, I'm not going to give self-pity attention. Therefore, I'm not going to give self-pity any of my energy. It takes up a lot of energy, and people don't understand that it is draining. It will drain the life out of you. Don't give it any energy. Don't give self-pity power over you or what you know, what you already know. So what you think, you attract. How you feel, you attract. What you feed, you continue to attract. So what are you going to do? Are you going to come out of the self-pity mode and stand up and be the woman or man or whatever God has already called you to be? Are you going to speak life into your situation? Are you going to speak life to yourself? Are you going to tell yourself that you are somebody, you are fearfully and wonderfully made? Or are you going to stay in self-pity? What are you giving your energy to? What are you giving your time to? What are you giving your attention to? Be watchful of that. Other points. When you focus on everything that is going wrong in your life, your thoughts become negative. If you just sit around and focus on everything that can possibly go wrong, you begin to have negative thoughts because you're focused on it. You're pondering on it. You're thinking about it. Did you ever stop to pray? Did you ever stop to think about what caused it? Why did this happen? What can I do better? I was in a situation today that could have put me in a self-pity mode, but I refused to let that put me in a self-pity mode. I have gone all day having a good day, and then this come in. No, it's not about to take my attention and my focus off of being a positive light. Not about to give it that kind of energy or that much energy or continue to feed into it. You have the power to change it. You have the power to turn it around. You have that power to bring yourself out of the self-pity mode if you want it. How bad do you want it? And I know it's going into a spiritual thing. My brother tell me this all the time, and it's so profound to me. There's a song that says, Jesus will work it out. And a lot of people like that song because it's an upbeat song. You can move to it or whatever. And it get to the run where it says work it out. And all you hear is work it out. But did you pay attention to the part that say, if you let him? If you let him. Jesus will work it out if you let him. So while you're sitting there pondering about whatever is going on, that's taking your energy, that's putting you into a self-pity state, you can be giving that to Jesus and letting him work it out. That ain't none of your business no more. That's what let him handle it. Don't go into a self-pity mode. Don't attract negativity into your life. The combination of negative thinking and the combination of negative thinking actually gives fuel to what you're feeling. So it's the combination of negative thinking and dwelling on it gives you fuel to what you're feeling. So if I'm already having negative thoughts and then I just dwell on it, I'm adding fuel to the fire. You're the match. Your situation is the gas. So you're the match and you throw the match into the gas, what's going to happen? An explosive thing is going to happen and it becomes uncontrollable. You're then going to need some help to put it out. It spreads farther than you imagine it to spread. Now you got a big mess. Stop being the match to the gas. Stop lighting fuel or lighting the fuel that's causing your negativity thought, your negative thoughts that's causing you to go in a self-pity mode. Stop it. You can beat self-pity. You can beat it. A lot of people think this is who I am. I've always been this way. Nothing ever goes right for me. Everything is always going wrong. Everybody is always against me. I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm not popular. I don't have a lot of friends. A lot of people don't talk to me. Self-pity. And one of the biggest tools to bring people to self-pity now, because I hear it all the time, social media. Social media, you can be whoever you want to be, when you want to be, how you want to be it. You cannot allow distractions to bring you into a self-pity mode. That's what they are for. The Bible tells us every time it seems like we're trying to do good, evil is always pressing on every hand, every side. So we're not going to live in a perfect world. You know that these things are going to come. You know that these things are going to happen. So you just have to prepare yourself to be prepared that you don't let it take hold of you to cause you to go into a self-pity mode. Because I'm telling you, it's easy to get into it, but it's hard to come out of if you continue to feed it. Sometimes it takes a long time to come out of it. So you have to be careful with that. You can face your feelings. It's okay to face your feelings. You have to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. We got feelings. We are human. So we are going to feel. It's okay. Nobody is telling anybody not to feel how they feel, but don't let your feelings put you in a crazy place. Don't let your feelings take power over how your day is going to be, how your life is going to be, how your outcome is going to be. No, take control over your feelings. Feel what you feel, let it go. Recognize warning signs. You know red flags when you see them. You know things that trigger you. Recognize them. Move away from them. Don't even put yourself in a situation that you got to feel the way that you feel if it's causing you to feel in a self-pity mode. Recognize it. Get away. It's okay to question your perception. It's okay if you ask yourself questions. It's okay to ask yourself, did you handle that right? Or should I be thinking about this? Or could it be something else? I ask myself questions all the time. And some people would say the girl is crazy because sometimes I think I answer myself. And that's okay too, as long as I get an answer. As long as I get an answer. It's okay to question your perceptions. Turn your negative thoughts into a positive thought and decide that you're going to live. Cast down every imaginable thing that exalts itself above what God has already said about you. If something negative come to mind, if you can't find it in the Bible, then dismiss it. If something negative be thrown at you, if you can't hear God saying that to you, dismiss it. If something is thrown at you and you know for yourself that ain't you, dismiss it. You do not have to absorb everything that's thrown at you. Pull it down, throw it away, turn that negative into a positive. Think about it. When you jump in the battery, you need the negative and the positive. Sometimes your negativity, the negative thoughts that come your way can push you to your greatness or your greater because you decided that that's not you. Because you decided you are not who they say you are. Because you decided you're not going to let this situation hold you down and keep you in a self-pity mode. Turn your negative into a positive. Reserve your resources for productive activities. If whatever coming at you is not helping you to climb the mountain, then you need to dismiss that too. Because you need all your energy, you need all of your resources to get to where you're trying to be, to get to where you're going. You need that time, that energy, and that space to be the greatest person you can be. You need that time, that energy, and that space so that you can move forward in life and be all that God has called you to be, so that you can write your book, so that you can be an actor, actress, the world renowned minister, preacher, pastor, motivational speaker, singer, dancer, whatever it is that your heart has a desire to do. You need that energy for that. Don't waste your time on the negative things, because it's going to get you absolutely nowhere. Practice gratitude. I find myself saying, Lord, I thank you all the time. Even in the midst of the storms, even in the trials and the tribulations, I still find a way to tell God thank you. Because sometimes I believe if it wasn't for my storms, I wouldn't need God. If I didn't go through anything, I wouldn't need him. But my storms, sometimes the negativity push me straight into the arms of God, because he's the only one, the ultimate one that can fix it, that can turn it around, that can change it. Give thanks in everything. Give thanks. Slap, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I bless you. Lord, you're awesome. Send up those words of thanks. Watch things change. God sees you. He sees you. He knows. Sometimes you can use that to help other people. That's one of the things that I do, so that I'm not thinking about what I'm going through or what I'm dealing with. I'll reach out and help somebody else. It takes the attention off me. It takes the focus off me and my problems. I'm helping somebody else. I ain't got time to be in a self-pity mode. Somebody need me. My children need me. Somebody is assigned to me. So I don't have time for the self-pity mode. I got to change. What did she just say? I got to change my pity into power. I got to change my pity into a praise. Use your peas. I got to take myself away from the self-pity, because God promised, not pity, promised. God promised, not man. He's a man that cannot lie. So if he promised it, it's sure to come to pass. No more self-pity parties. We don't have time. And trust me, a lot of people ain't going to come to the party. The people that you want to be with you in self-pity, they ain't coming. They might come just to see how bad you're doing so they can go back out and tell how you're doing. And then you're left at the party all alone. Get away from self-pity. Refuse to complain. I was big on this. Something happened, you got to go to your sister over here, your brother over here, and talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Just talking about it. And what happens when you talk about it? You feel worse, because how many times can you honestly say in a conversation that you're complaining about something, that somebody stands up and say, well, let's come to a resolve. Let's find some solutions. Let's see how we can do this differently, versus, girl, you are so right. You know, and I would have did that, and you right, you did. No. Refuse to complain about it, because complaining is not going to help it. It's not going to improve it. A lot of times what you complaining about don't even care. So stop complaining. Refuse to complain. Maintain an optimistic outlook. Trust me, it could be worse. But the very fact that you're still living, moving, and you have your being, you are blessed and highly favored. You can do something about the situation. The issue can be resolved. Just think positive and look for a better outlook. I myself, I do a lot of writing, and I do a lot of journaling, and sometimes I write down a lot of my prayers. And my reason for writing down my prayers, because sometimes I just like to go back and read what I have said to God and see how God had answered what I've said to him. Sometimes I write out a lot of things so that I can go back and read it, just so I can go back and read it, just like I'm reading a book. If you pick up a book and read it, something in that book, excuse me, may inspire you. You're writing your own thoughts. You're reading your own thoughts. This is what I come up with. This is what I made up in my mind. Today, I choose to live by choice, not by chance. To make changes, not excuses. To be motivated, not manipulated. To be useful, not used. To excel, not compete, no competition. Everybody got a place to make it. Everybody got a place to be a winner. You good at one thing, I'm good at another. Even if we're good at the same thing, we still have our own place. That's just like a band. It takes all the band members to play to make a beautiful sound. So everybody has a place. Everybody can play a part. I choose self-esteem, not self-pity, and not the random opinions of others. I can't dwell on others' opinions. That's not what I'm choosing today. That's not what I'm choosing tomorrow. That's not my choice. I reject self-pity, denial, blaming others, ingratitude, empathy, and playing the victim. Those are the things that I reject. I choose to focus on God, value myself, love myself, appreciate others, be thankful, make changes, not be the victim, but be victorious. Those are the choices that you can make. In my conclusion, to encourage you, we live in a world and a season in history where everyone is watching everyone because of technology and social media. It seems as if everyone has access to everyone, which means everyone is constantly aware of the spotlight. Don't let circumstances around you, don't let your circumstances, don't let your situations cause you to go in self-pity mode. It will kill your dream. It will stop your progress. It will keep you from building, moving forward. It can also put you in a place of isolation. It'll keep you from other people because some people don't want to be around self-pity people. You'll be wondering why you don't have people. And this is why, because people don't want to be drained with that all the time. People don't want negativity all the time. So you got to make up in your mind that you are somebody and that you can make it, and that self-pity will not be your name, but your name is victory. Get up, live, come out of self-pity. You can do it. Be blessed. I pray that I have said something that has helped someone on today.
Hallelujah. Praise God. Demetrice, what a word, what a word. You made so very, very good points. This time I'm able to see what people are writing, and I'm telling you, touched a lot of women with this teaching, and we need this teaching. But one thing you talked about in your writing, you saying we got to stop playing the victim. Can you go into that a little bit more about playing the victim? Because a lot of us don't realize we playing the victim.
Playing the victim. Playing the victim, just always putting yourself in a bad spot, in a bad place. Everything that go wrong, you think it's about you. It's all about you. Sometimes you think people talking about you and don't want to be around you, and they ain't even thinking about you. They ain't even thought nothing about you. To be honest with you, to make it plain with you, because I have experiences, they don't care nothing about you. Period. And because you're thinking that, you put yourself in that place of being victimized, and you're not the victim. You're not even being thought about at the moment. Not to sound rude about it, but
you're right.
That's what it is. That you don't have. I don't want to be a victim to anything. If it ain't nothing that's gonna bless me or bless my siblings, my children, my offspring. I mean, you can't put yourself in that place. You're playing the victim is you make up stuff that's not even there.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You look at something that's not even going on, and you make it real. I mean, you get to the point that you really make this illusion a factor in your life.
Wow.
That's becoming the victim, or it's always about me. Woe is me. She don't like me. He don't like me. They don't talk. So what? You
So
came in the
what?
world by yourself, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna go out by yourself. So what? And at the end of the day, you can't lay down with all of those people when you lay down to rest your head. And half of the time when you need those people, they ain't around. So who cares?
Who
You put
cares?
yourself in a victimized state. You put yourself in a place to be the victim. Didn't nobody put you there. You did it. That's playing the victim. Like something is always wrong with you. Somebody's always doing something to you. But no. And even if it is, you don't have to entertain it.
Right.
You
Right.
do not have to entertain it. I mean, when you start entertaining people or things that's crazy, that's what people want. And the more you entertain it, the more they're going to entertain.
That's true.
Entertainers get paid to do that stuff. And people that's trying to entertain you,
I like that.
sometimes they just want to see you miserable. They like to see people miserable. So why entertain anything that's not going to be beneficial? No, you can't have my energy. You can't have my time. If this is what you want to do and it's making you feel good, go right ahead. But I will not be your victim.
Woo!
So don't be
That
the
was
victim.
good. That was good. I think about that woe is me mentality when you're going through and you think you're the only one going through, and it's all about you and all about what you're going through. And like you said, we got to be where we got to get our minds off ourselves. We so busy into our little world that we don't see what God is trying to show us on how we can bless this other person. Because the more that you're blessing someone else and you're checking on someone else and you calling someone else to see what they're going through, your mind is not on your stuff. God is taking care of
Absolutely.
it. So you over here and you helping this person out. They're going through issues. You're going through issues also, but you made theirs more important than yours. So we really do
Right.
have to get our mind off ourselves and stop playing the victim and saying, woe is me, and that little sad song, walking
Right.
around with your head all down. But this was some good teaching. I saw what Deborah Blue said, girl, the fire is on you and in you. Practical teaching wins every time. I mean, that's some good word. That's why I love Demetrice so much. She gives the word and she gives it with power and authority, which has you looking at yourself to say, I don't want to be stuck in self-pity. Like I said, we all had our pity parties, and sometimes we
Yes.
go there now, but we have to choose to say, like you said, I'm no longer the victim, I am victorious. I'm
Right.
victorious. I'm not going to play that game anymore where I'm at the party by myself and nobody wants to listen to anything. Because every time
Right.
they see me,
Right.
they know I'm going to say something negative about everything. Girl, he hurt me and look what they done to me and all that. Nobody wants to hear that. We all trying to go somewhere in Christ. We'll pray for you and get you going to where you need to be. Not to
Right.
say, not we can't be feeling sorry for people. I just feel so sorry for her. But when you in Christ, we don't walk around like that anymore in that
Right.
self-pity and feeling sorry for ourselves. You talk to a person, like you say, you may not want to hear what people have to say, but like, girl, you need to shake yourself and get away from that. That's what
Right.
you need to do. But this some good teaching. And I took a lot of notes on what you were saying. You said self-pity tells lies and it makes up things. That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
It tells us stuff about ourselves that's not even true, but we start believing it and we start acting it out. But I'm trying to look at some of the comments that people were saying. This is awesome. This is awesome. But I have some people on Zoom also, and we get ready to close out on Facebook. So if anybody has any questions or anything from Facebook that they want to talk to Demetrice about, we'll be here for a little bit, and we're going to go on the Zoom if you want to jump on Zoom and talk with us, which is a little more secure there because somebody may have something they don't want everybody to hear.
Right.
All right, praise God. To God be the glory. So we're going to go off of Facebook Live, and we're going to be on Zoom and speak with the women here. But thank you all for joining us on Facebook. Demetrice, that was awesome, and I'm sure it
To
helped.
God be the glory.
It's a lot of comments, and go back and read those comments when you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
God bless you all. But that was beautiful. You gave that word.
To God be the glory.
Hey, that word